Welcome to the studio. Today we've got a very curious collection of advice for writing. Today I want to go through some writing tips, advice for writers that is in this book, One Way Street by Walter Benjamin. And Walter Benjamin is a really interesting thinker, a theorist, a critic, an essayist, a philosopher who was writing in the early 20th century. And this particular list, 13 tips for writers, was part of his collection of observations and I don't know what to call them, reflections in a book called One Way Street, inspired by 1920s urban living. I mean, it's interesting because Walter Benjamin is best known by a lot of people for an unfinished book called The Arcades Project, which was really trying to tell the story of 19th century Europe. Start with its starting point in the Parisian arcades, and something very close to my heart, the idea of the flaneur, the wanderer, the urban wanderer in that landscape, in that 19th century urban landscape. But of course, the book was unfinished, and what was left of it and what was published was a series of papers. I think it's like 1,000 pages long. So who knows what it would have finally turned out to be. And there are really good video essays about Walter Benjamin if you want to know more about Benjamin's work in a more in-depth way. But I looked at these. I am interested in Benjamin because of the Arcades Project, because of the idea of the flaneur. But he did write delightful things about literature, about book collecting, and this collection on writing, I think you will love it. So I'm going to read them and we'll go through them bit by bit. The actual piece is called Stick No Bills, and the subtitle being The Writer's Technique in 13 Propositions. Number 1. Whoever is thinking of committing a major work to paper, let him give himself that pleasure, and, his daily stint done, grant himself whatever will not impair the next days. I don't go out and have a few too many, which is often the way I will celebrate a really good day's writing. Number 2, talk about what you have accomplished, if you wish, but do not, during the course of the work, read aloud from it. Interesting. Any satisfaction you obtain in this way will slow you down. Stick to this regime, and the growing desire to tell someone will eventually become an engine of completion. I think that's amazing advice, and I definitely have suffered from that in the past. Number 3, the conditions in which you work, try to avoid the average, the everyday. Semi-quiet, accompanied by empty sounds, will be degrading. However, the accompaniment of étude, I don't know what that means, or the murmur of voices may be as meaningful as regards work as the audible silence of night. Where the latter will sharpen the inner ear, the former will be a touchstone for a diction whose abundance absorbs even those eccentric sounds, eccentric sounds. I suppose this is the appeal of writing in coffee shops for a lot of people, isn't it? It doesn't work for me, that, but a lot of people, evidenced by the amount of laptops in my local coffee shops, seems to work for a lot of people. Number 4, avoid just any old tools of the trade. Pedantic insistence on certain pens, papers, inks will be useful. Not luxury, but abundance of such utensils is essential. I mean, that could just be that one quote for this. The whole genre on YouTube, isn't it? It's all about that. Written in 1928. Let no thought pass you by incognito, but keep your notebook as strictly as the authorities do the register of aliens. I love the idea of the image of Walter Benjamin having a YouTube channel like this one in the contemporary age, isn't it? But 1920s Walter Benjamin doing a YouTube channel about notebooks, writing, journaling, etc. Number 6, make your pen resistant to inspiration. It will then attract it with the force of a magnet. The longer you delay over writing an idea down, the more fully developed it will yield itself to you. Speech takes hold of thought by force, but writing tames. It's interesting. Number 7, never stop writing because you have run out of ideas. Literary honour requires that you break off only when there is an appointment to be met, a meal, an engagement, or the work is finished. there's an element of morning pages there, isn't there? Just keep writing, just keep doing it, keep going. Number 8, when inspiration fails, fill in by making a fair copy of what you have done already. Intuition will awake as a result. That's interesting, isn't it? That idea of when you don't really know what to write, just kind of repeat the last thing you wrote until something new comes out. I think I've heard that elsewhere as well before. I think from a famous writer, I can't remember who it was, but just keep rewriting what you've already written and it will generate the next idea. That's interesting. Number 9, nulla dies sine linea, but weeks certainly. No day without a line, that translates as. I did look it up. No day without a line, which is interesting. Again, there's links to morning pages. Write every day. Number 10, never deem a work perfect over which you have not at some time sat from evening to daybreak. Wow. Yeah. I think that's really important at the end of a piece of work, that you read through it thoroughly without taking a break. It will take you more than one day, it will take you several days, but just sit at your desk at the end before you let go of it. Definitely has worked for me with my books when I have to send it off to somebody who's going to print it. Number 11, do not write the conclusion of the work in your usual study. There you would not find the courage. That's really interesting. That is a very interesting thing. Finishing a piece of work, writing the conclusion is the hardest part. Also, the introduction is the hardest part as well. So there's two. So I love the idea of going to a different environment. That's a great idea. Number 12, stages of composition. Thought, style, the act of penning. The point of the fair copy is that in fixing this, all attention now is on calligraphy. Thought kills inspiration, style shackles thought, penning pays the wages of style. Penning pays the wages. Penning pays the wages of style. And number 13, the work is the death mask of the draft. Why this isn't famous? Everyone should, every writer, every essayist should have this stuff, because every single one of these is absolutely bang on. The work is the death mask of the draft. It's interesting because a lot of the best stuff you often find is in the draft, but it's in the editing and in the refinement that you turn it into something else, a product that can go out into the world. So the next one is 13 propositions against snobs, but that's not for this channel. That's really wonderful. Walter Benjamin in One Way Street. Really, and so I will look for more of these. I really want to do a thing on Virginia Woolf's Hunt for a Good Pencil. That is amazing. That's a really fantastic essay, but that's for a different day. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for your support. I love your comments. And as I always like to say, I look forward to seeing you on the next page.